So today's video is going to be a roundup of like all of my favorite products by the brand E.L.F. They are such a great, affordable brand. They have so much to choose from, and I just don't know how they do it with how affordable they are, and the quality of some of their stuff is just really, really, really good. Okay, so a newer product of E.L.F. that I absolutely love, like this stuff is so good, is their new CC Camo Cream. I got the fair and the light. So I ordered these online and I felt like their shades looked a little bit dark. So as I've been using it though, I mix more of the light in and then a little bit of the fair. The fair is pretty light for me. So that is the foundation that I have on today. It is definitely a cream. Like this is a true cream. It is not like, it doesn't feel like a foundation. It feels more like a moisturizer. So it has sunscreen in it, SPF 30. I would say I use like 2 pumps of this and I get like a pretty full coverage look. I think this stuff is amazing. It has collagen, peptides, niacinamide, and it says that it has a very natural finish, which I agree with because it has like almost like a creamy, silky finish to it. I do like this better than the IT Cosmetics CC cream, I think. I feel like it is more full coverage and that's more up my alley. And this retails for $14. So I just did one little pump on the back of my hand and it's very creamy. I'm just gonna rub it in here so you can see the finish. And if you're curious, this is the shade Light, which in my opinion, I feel like it's more of a light medium, even maybe a medium. So if you're looking at the shades and you're wondering, obviously it's the winter right now, so I am a lot fairer than I normally am, but I would probably go with, you know, 1 shade lighter than what you would normally go with because it is pretty dark. I haven't noticed that it oxidizes or anything like that, but the finish is really, really pretty. You can blend it in really nice with your hands. I like to use a brush. I've even used a beauty blender, but I feel like the beauty blender takes a little bit more time because this is a very thick, creamy product, if that makes sense. So I think that just using your hands, or I like to use a brush, is probably the best way. The scent to me is minimal. You can smell like a tiny bit of sunscreen, but nothing excessive. That is one of my absolute new favorites that I've been loving. Again, $14. It is really good. Definitely worth it to check that out. I just had to run in the other room and get myself a makeup wipe. I don't know why I do that. I always forget to get a makeup wipe to wipe my swatches off. Okay, so next up, so these concealers are another item from their Camo line. I think that all these are pretty much like a newer launch or in the last year. The concealer I use all the time. I talk about it all the time. This is the lighter one in the shade Fair Warm. This one is way too light for me even in the winter. So I did buy both of these online and I felt like there was a pretty big difference between the 2 shades, and these are the ones that were kind of side by side. Unless I missed something, that's the only con with these, is finding a shade that you might like. Like I feel like this one pulls like a very peachy color, especially on my skin tone, but it works. So the shade that I love to use for concealer is Light Sand. I have it under my eyes today. I put a little bit around my like smile area, and then I put a little highlight up in the middle of my forehead and then down my nose, and this blends out awesome. I feel like it does a really nice job at like moisturizing your under eyes, and it doesn't dry down like super matte. It's like a very satin, really pretty finish, and you can set over it and it works really good. I use a brush to blend it in. I've used a sponge. I think that either way works perfect. If I do use a sponge, I love to dampen it a little bit first, and I'll just spray like a little setting spray on it, like a Max Fix Plus or even the Milani Make It Last, something more drugstore, something more affordable, and I'll just kind of dampen it out, and it blends really, really pretty. And it's $8, so you can easily find a shade I think that's gonna work for you, and it's totally worth it for the price. So I'm just gonna do a little swatch. The applicator is a big doe foot. If you haven't already seen it, it's very similar to like the Shape Tape, and the scent's not bad. So the top swatch right here is in the shade Light Sand, and then the one underneath it is in the shade Fair Warm. Again, I feel like with E.L.F., I think their colors run a little bit dark, like if that makes sense. Like maybe more their lights should be like a light medium. I just feel like there's a big gap in between that's fair and that's light. That seems like that's fair and that's more of like a medium to me, but that's just my opinion. So one thing that e.l.f. is really good at is their little face palettes. My favorites, they have a really good blush palette, comes with a nice mirror, and then it comes with a few different shades, more of like a pink tone shade and then more like neutral and warm shades. This is the light, so it's more suited for lighter skin tones. Today on my face, I actually have a mix of this pink one up top and then this more of like it's like a brown peach, but for some reason, oh, I guess because I had it up so close, but you can see it's more. So that is the mix that I have on my face today. And their palettes this size with the 4 colors retail for $8. And one thing I like about e.l.f. is I find that their prices are consistent across the board. So if you go to Target or if you go to Ulta, you're gonna be paying that same price no matter what. And I feel like some other brands like Target, you're gonna find better deals than what you would be paying at Ulta. But then I know that Ulta has a lot of really good deals too, like buy one, get one, that kind of thing. But anyway, another thing, and I keep on dinging my nail on this every time I bend it, but another thing that's really great about these palettes is in the back here, you can push and they pop out. If you like some of the shades from the darker palette and then some from the light, you can kind of mix and match. And you can also take like a bronzer or a contour shade from one of the other palettes and kind of mix and match and make your own palette. So that's one thing that I think is super awesome about these. And again, they come with a mirror and they last. I haven't had any issues with this packaging. I think this packaging is really good quality. Now another little duo package that I like is they have like blush and bronzer duos. They have contour ones too, but my favorite is the cream blush and bronzer, especially for the summertime. The cream bronzer makes a really good contour and I can use this all year round, and this is like the perfect peachy pink color. So if you have a day where you're just putting on like a little CC cream or a little tinted moisturizer, but you want to add like a little bronzer or blush, I think that this is perfect for that because it just goes over so flawlessly because it is a cream product and it just adds a little something, like it gives your face a little bit of dimension and it takes like 2 seconds. I want to say these little palettes are $4, between $4 and $5. So next up, I've been using the Benefit Brow Gel, Cabrow, I think it's called. Whatever the one that's like the brow mascara, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I was looking for something very similar, like a dupe for that, and I found it, and this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is a newer product. I have the shade Natural Brown, and it is the brow gel that I have on my eyebrows right now. So this is going to add little fibers to your brows. It's a really nice, realistic color. So it's not like a very warm toned brown. See it on the camera here, but I'll do like a little swatch on my hand so you can kind of see. But that is the shade right there. And it's a tinted brow gel that also kind of clings to like really tiny hairs and kind of just gives it a little bit more. So it works really well, it sets my brows in place, and I've been really loving using it, and I'm excited to find something that only costs $4. So if you're looking for something similar to the Benefit product and you don't want to spend that much, give this a try. Okay, next up, I have a bunch of little eyeshadows. So they have their bite-sized shadow palettes. I'm sure everyone has heard about them by now, but they're really good. Like they're totally worth the hype, and they're $3 and they have so many really pretty shades to choose from. So I'll definitely like insert a picture of a bunch of like different looks that I've tried out using these just so you can get a better feel, and I'll put up some swatches and that kind of thing. So the look that I have on my eyes today is the palette in the shade Rosewater. Don't mind the cracks. I literally just dropped this and it shattered. So that's one thing. This packaging is not great. If you drop it, it's going to shatter, but you're paying $3. So you really can't complain. And it was just kind of careless on my part, but I was able to salvage most of it, which is good. It was really only the one shade that was affected. So this is what I have on for my transition. I put it like all over my lid. I put it all up in that area. Then I mixed both this shade and this one on my lid. I just literally mixed them both together. And then on the outer V, just to kind of deepen that out, I used this shade right here on the end. You can get tons of really pretty looks. I think these are perfect, especially for like traveling, or if you want to just toss them in your purse, that kind of thing. And they're also perfect for gifts. So for Christmas, I put together like some gift baskets of some makeup and stuff like that, and I put a bunch of these in, and they're $3. So literally you can get every color if you want. So another one of my favorites is the one in jalapeno. This is a newer purchase for me from this line. I had been eyeing it, and I had recently placed an Ulta order, and I said, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna pick it up. It is so pretty, like this green. Let me swatch it for you really quick, just so you can see like how crazy pigmented it is. Like it is crazy, crazy green. Such a pretty color. So I recently did a look on my Instagram over on IGTV. So if you're curious, you can go check that out. I'm at Organization Beauty Nation. And if you just like scroll through my IGTV videos, I just did a tutorial using the shadow, and I pretty much used every single color in it. So it's really pretty, really fun. Another one of my favorites is this color Story, and this is in Pumpkin Pie. It is so pretty. You have a transition shade, you can do like a V or like smoky eye, and then you have a couple of really nice shimmer shades. Like look, that's one swatch, and then that's the other one. Like there's a huge color payoff, and that's not even me using anything. So I think that they're really good. And the last one that's kind of newer that I just picked up is the one in Cream and Sugar. This is like a really pretty neutral one, more for like every day, or if you want to just put something on and have it like really simple, but it's also super pretty. So again, here's like a transition shade. If you wanted to like smoke out your lower lash line, that would look really pretty, or your upper lash line, maybe do like a little V-wing. And then if you wanted to add a little shimmer in your inner corner, that's really pretty. And then use that one on your lid. That would be a really pretty look. I think that I might actually do that for one of my next IGTV makeup tutorial videos. They probably have 10 little palettes or color stories to choose from. I'll put them up on the screen so you can take a look. But again, $3. I think that this is an exemplary product like in general, and I really love the idea behind it, like these little tiny little color stories, because who wants to carry around a big palette like this? But they do also have some really good palettes at the drugstore. Probably my favorite out of any drugstore brand. Like if you're looking for like a shadow palette, check out the E.L.F. ones, because I think they're all like pretty good. I feel like drugstore does not have a lot of good shadows, just in my opinion, but I think that E.L.F. really hits the mark. And another palette that I love is their new Classics palette. I've done a bunch of looks on my Instagram with this one, and I really like that green. Really pretty if you wanted to do something like super casual. This shade right here is really pretty, just put all over the lid and just blend it into the crease. They also have some really nice transition shades. I love using Darling or Truffle, and then they also have some cool tones. So you can get some warm and some cool, and then a little bit of glitter here and there. And the bigger palettes this size retail for $14 if you're wondering. Next up, their brushes are so good. Probably my second favorite line at the drugstore. Well, I think that they tie with Real Techniques for me, but they have so many different brushes to choose from, and they're all really good. One of my favorites is the small taper brush for setting my under eyes. Their eye brushes are all really good. I just washed a bunch of my brushes last night, so they're still drying, but ton of like stipple brushes that are really good. I'll put a few up on the screen that I like, that I think are really good, that you should check out. But their brushes, I think they're pretty much all under $10. So if you're newer and you're trying to get into some brushes, or you just want to try some out, I totally think that they're such a good deal, and they work really good, and the quality is good. The quality is there. So I haven't had any issues as far as washing them with them falling apart or anything like that, or like different things like the ferrule, whatever it's called, on the handle coming loose. Haven't had any issues like that. I find that they wash really nice, and I like to wash my brushes quite often, I think. So I don't know what's a lot, but I like to do it at least once a week, especially the ones that I'm using every day. But if you're looking for some good affordable brushes, check them out. They're really good, and they're great alternatives to some of the higher end brushes. So I feel like for lip stuff and things like that, I haven't had a lot of hits with E.L.F. The only one that I would currently recommend that I really like is their liquid lips. Specifically, I like in the shade Praline, and you can get it as like a lip kit. This is the way I purchase it personally. is it's the Speak Your E.L.F. lip kit. So it comes with the praline liquid lip, and then it also comes with the prismatic lip gloss in the shade Rose Quartz. I feel like that is sold out a ton. So you just buy them together and it's $5. You can only get it online at Ulta though. But if you're looking to try out their lips and you like the shade, I would go for that one. Some of the other glosses, I think I tried the one in the shade Fantasy, and it's just very like just watery, nothing great. $3 though. Personally, I prefer other drugstore lips, but I do really like that lip set. The liquid lip is a really pretty color. It lasts all day long, and then the gloss is not sticky. It like definitely has that reflective nature to it, and it's not sticky at all. It doesn't smell funky, nothing like that. And again, $5. I totally forgot one of them that I'm seeing in the basket now. Thank goodness I remembered now and not later, but it's literally one of my favorite E.L.F. products. I don't know how I just forgot, but it is their E.L.F. glitters. Hold on, let me go get it. Okay, well that would have been a complete bust if I forgot to mention these, because when I was thinking of different video ideas and I wanted to do E.L.F., these liquid eye glitters were one of the reasons why I wanted to create this video. So these are one of my new favorites. And I saw these and I love the steel glitters. Like I love putting on a glitter. It just makes me happy, even if I'm not going anywhere. So some of my favorite colors are, this is the Copper Pop. And I also like the one, it's called Flirty Birdie. It's a little bit lighter than this one. And then this gold one, so pretty. It's in 24 karat gold. It's a really pretty shiny gold. And then this one's kind of different. It's called Dirty Martini, and I didn't have anything that color, so I wanted to grab it. I also have this silver, I believe it's called like Disco. It has like a bunch of different sparkles in it, but I'll put all the ones they offer up on the screen. But they're really good affordable dupes for the Stila. They're not as glittery as that formula, and they're a little bit more watery, but they work and they get the job done. And if you're curious, they're $5. They have a pretty good shade range. I think that they could improve it a little bit, but I think that they have a really good shade range. The next one that I want to get from this is their like black sparkles. I forget the name of it, but I'm really curious to check that one out. I think that would be really pretty. They also have like a really pretty deep blue. They have a lot of fun colors too. They have like a bright, I think it's like a mermaid or something it's called. I just actually got it for my niece for Christmas. And then they have a really pretty purple. So they have a little bit of something for everybody. And I definitely think they're worth checking out if you're into like the glitters and things like that. So they dry down pretty quickly, like they're dry now. So that's everything I have to talk about today. I'm really excited for what's to come with their brand. I think that it's really good. I think it's very creative. The price point is crazy good. And again, I don't know how they do it. I think that they're really good, and I think that they're almost like a company where I feel like if I find something high end, I look to them and I'm like, okay, well maybe E.L.F. has a dupe. I'm always looking for a product that is just as good as high end. I love to save money. And again, don't get me wrong, I like the high end products too. I will pay for them, no problem, if they're good and I feel like they're worth it. But on the other end of the spectrum, I love drugstore too, and I love finding really good affordable finds that are just as good as the higher end items. So if you are new here, I do all different types of beauty related videos. I also do like home and lifestyle. I do fashion, decor. I do a lot of cleaning and organizing. So when I first started this channel, I wanted to do beauty and I wanted to do organization. So I kind of morphed the two ideas into one rather than creating two different channels, because that would just be way too much. So if you're into that kind of thing, on my channel, my videos, that's where you'll find that kind of content. So if you're new, please introduce yourself down below, say hi. I love engaging with you guys in the comments, and I love to know that you guys actually like my videos and you watch them. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It would help me out a ton. And like I mentioned in my last video, I'm having a lot of fun with this channel. It's just a nice kind of creative outlet for me, you know, amidst all the craziness and the chaos going on in this world. So that's all I have to say, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.